Uncle Roddus back again. I've been to the record shops. I've been online shopping. I've been to the record shops. This is going to be a long one because I've got quite a bit to get through. So let me start with. I went online to the Vinyl Countdown site and picked up 3 of their on sale records there. One with I'd been after meaning to get my hands on for a little bit since it came out last year, and then another one that. And then a couple that just turned up on their sale bins that looked like they were for me. So anyway, yesterday or last night, I went to a old school friend 60th birthday. Now, I know that most of you would be in complete disbelief that I'm almost 60 this. Well, I'm going to turn 60 this year. I know I only look 25. So yeah, I know this is the truth of the matter. Anyway, no, I went to my mate's 60th, so that was really cool. I caught up with some very old school friends that I haven't seen for many years. And Mike, if you're watching, it was good to meet you again after all these years. Even though I don't remember you that well from school, but. Yeah, obviously we met up and that, so it'll be really cool to catch up. So I went into Penny Lane and my mate Alistair, he started collecting vinyl again. He's got a nice system. I've been around to his place and had a little session with him and listening to his gear, and he's got some nice stuff as well. And I bought a record voucher at Penny Lane, and while I was at Penny Lane, I had a browse through the shelves. So I'll get to those soon. First of all, though, the stuff that I picked up from the Vinyl Countdown sales site, and it's supposed to be on the top of the tile. There's one of them, 2 of them. Where's the other one? There it is. Okay, so Ty Segall, Love Rudiments. I need my reading glasses on. You know, I may look 25, but I don't feel it. Okay, yeah, Ty Segall, Love Rudiments. This is a 2024 LP from Ty. Now, I picked up the LP after this, I believe, which they both came out the same year, which I really enjoyed. This is a lot different. Now, he is a drummer. This is a very percussive LP, and I think there's only 2 people playing on it. There's not a lot of lyrics from memory. I've only played side 1. This one might take a wee bit of getting into for me, but the last LP of his, which is a double, I can't remember the name of it now, that is really good. I'm really enjoying that. So anyway, but I know Ty's been around for many years now, probably a couple of decades, and he has been very prolific, and I knew about him, but I never actually picked up any of his stuff, but what I've heard has been pretty good. More on him later. And then I picked up this reissue. This is a Mo-Fi reissue. Generally the Mo-Fi reissues are limited editions of about 700 copies. This is number 131. Yeah, so this is the Fanny, which is a lady band from all-female band from the very early 70s. So these girls are real pioneers for women in rock music, and so this is a pop rock LP from 1970 that has a bit of a reputation, and it sounds pretty cool. I mean, I've been familiar with them for quite some time. It's on this grey vinyl, and see the label is the reproduction of the Reprise Records label, which I'm very familiar with through most of Neil Young and his catalogue. So yeah, really cool to have that. Been meaning to pick up this for quite a few years, but I've never sort of actually seen it second hand. But you know, the Mo-Fi do really good. I've picked up quite a few Mo-Fis, not Mo-Fi, music on vinyl reissues, and I've shown a few of them over the last few videos. And then I also, and the main reason I was on that site was I knew this was on there on special. Troy Kingy, Night Lords. So Troy is a man I've talked about many times over the years, and I have been collecting his LPs. Now he has a project. This is a New Zealander, great singer. This is a project that Troy has been on since 2016, and it's a 10 LPs in 10 years in 10 different genres. And this is his hip hop LP, and it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I was talking to someone the other day about, you know, who collects New Zealand music, who I've mentioned many times, Mr. Chris Walker, and he said that some of the LPs he didn't quite get into, so he hasn't been collecting the whole series. But I'm gonna go ahead. So this is on his website. This is number 9. So he's not going to make the 10 years unless he chucks another one out by the end of this year, because the first one came out late in 2016. That was a CD only release, and it's very hard to get hold of, and I don't have it. But I've had all the vinyl releases. One of them got a reissue, which is really cool because I couldn't find the original release, and it sells for like $300 or $400 now. Yeah. So most of the series has been pretty good. It's not all the best. It's not all great. The 80s one he did was a bit lame. But anyway, yeah. So I'm enjoying that. So that's cool. So yeah, possibly one more of that series to go, which he probably needs to get out before the end of this year to fulfill his 10 year. Because he did skip a year. We didn't release one for some reason. So he would have completed this by now, because that came out late last year. So Penny Lane, right? Okay, so yeah, right. So this is interesting, looking through the bins and a lot of these new LPs that come out, nobody puts their name on the cover. They're just this piece of art, and you have no idea who they are. And sometimes I have to read the spines, which is really difficult if I don't have my reading glasses, because I usually don't carry them with me, to be honest. Yeah, so anyway, I'm browsing through the recent arrivals bins, and I've been browsing for about 20 minutes, and in various bins, and I had a look in the $5 bins, which because actually my intention was to go and hit the $5 bins and grab a whole bunch of stuff out of those, but apart from the copies of the ones that I'd already purchased out of those bins, there wasn't anything that really caught my fancy, although I could have had a bit more detailed look. So but then I saw this, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking, what the fuck is it? What is this LP? There's nothing on the spine. There's nothing open. It's a gatefold, and it's a triple gatefold, and I open it up in the artwork, and there's nothing to tell me who the hell this band is. But I started to get suspicious when I sort of looked at the picture in the middle, and then I turned over and I looked at the release date, and there was a word on it that kind of, again, tweaked my suspicion. So I said to Gary, I took it to the counter, I said, Gary, what the hell is this? He said, there's no information on it at all on the covers. He said it's Tool, and it's their Fear, what is it called? Christ, this is their 2019 LP. It's the only one of theirs I don't have, although I don't have any of theirs on vinyl. Now, what is it? Fear Inoculum. That's what it's called. Cool. Now, I remember when it came out in 2019, and it only came out on CD, and it was fancy versions. They were really fucking expensive, and to be honest, and it wasn't on vinyl, and so well, anyway. So I've been on Discogs. So this is it here, and it says 2021 Tool Dissectional, which is their label. So that's what tweaked me, and also the picture of the band and the artwork internally. That kind of gave me a wee bit of a clue that it was a Tool LP, but it wasn't until I really took it up to the counter and I said, "What is this?" And he's, "Yeah, it's Tool, yeah." And so, excuse me, this never came out on vinyl until now, or until 4 years ago, sorry. Now, on Discogs, all the original CDs variants came out in 2019, and they were really expensive, and they were very, very flash and very exclusive. There's a bucket load of unofficial vinyl reissues, mostly double LPs. This is a 3-sided LP, and according to Discogs, this includes 2 tracks that were on the digital only release and not on the CD. It's 3-sided and the 3rd side is etched. It's just on the black vinyl. Yeah, so this is second hand. Whoever owned it before me had put nice, decent sleeves on it, and I'm not sure if that will come up at all on the etchings there. There's a lot of reflection there, but it's a really cool etching. Yeah, so anyway, I'm really, really rapt to have this. I'd say I have pretty much all of Tool's main LPs on CD, and I've seen them live a couple of times. I mean, they're an impressive band, and their recording quality is absolutely stunning. I mean, on my CDs. Now, on Discogs, according to the reviews of this particular pressing, now this is the European version, the European pressing, manufactured in Czechoslovakia, was it? Or some European outfit? God, I don't see it. No, there's not a lot of information. Anyway, but this is, yeah, definitely the European one. The reviews on Discogs, just about all of them bar one, because he said this was a bit noisy, has stated that this is an absolutely stunning pressing, an absolutely stunning mastering, absolutely stunning sound. Several of them said it's the best sounding LP they have in their collection. So I'm really excited about that and looking forward to playing it, because I haven't played it yet. I've spent the morning cleaning and listening to another album box set, which I am going to show you, and I know this is going to go well over the top. So yeah, really excited about that, and my first Tool on vinyl. Now, I did pick up some New Zealand LPs there yesterday. Playing in the background is this, called This Island. This is a compilation on JREM Records from 1984. I've been looking for this for a while. It's one of the early 80s ones that I was missing out of my collection. There are some other ones that I'm missing out of my collection that, to be honest, I'm not that interested in. I know the music won't be that great. I mean, this is okay, some of the stuff. It's got You Fascinate Marginal Era, which, have we got to yet? It might be the next track. That's a really cool song, and it was used as the theme tune later on to the Radio of a Pictures music video show that used to be airing on Sunday night. It's got a car crash set track on it, which is pretty cool. Their records are very hard to get, very electro 80s. A few bands I haven't heard of. Yeah, so, and the Idols I'm familiar with. I actually have their LP, but yeah, so not stunningly cool music, but it's cool to have this, you know, because I do collect these New Zealand compilations as much as I can. I say there are a few around that just don't interest me. Also on JREM Records, I've finally picked up it's on my want list, but it's not something I was looking for. But the Tin Syndrome? Yeah, the Tin Syndrome. No Ordinary Sickness. This is JREM Records 1985. This has David Long on guitar, and he plays guitar on one track, bass on another, he's cello, banjo, vocals. So David Long, I have quite a lot of records with him involved. He was in the Mutton Birds, which are a fantastic New Zealand band, which still don't have any releases on vinyl. Come on, get it together. Yeah, this is... I've never heard this, so I don't know how good it's going to be. David Long was in the Braille collectives, and I've got all of the Braille records now, and he was on quite a few of those, and he's also done some solo recently. In the last 5 or 6 years, he's put out a couple of really good solo LPs, you know, a little bit sort of different and pretty cool. So that's nice to have that. Now, this one here's one that really slipped through the works. I don't know whether Chris has got, Walker's got one of these, because this is a Christchurch band called The Tax, and this LP was released in 2021 or 22. It says 21 on the back of it. It says 22 on Discogs. Looks like a 4-piece band, 5-piece band from Christchurch, and I'd never heard of them and never knew anything about it. And it came out originally in 2019. According to Discogs. No, sorry, 21. they formed in 2019. Never seen them play live. Never actually seen it, or maybe just I don't know. Actually, that's a picture of them playing. I'm guessing at the Embankment on the back there. There's a venue I've been to. So originally this was put out in an issue of 300 copies worldwide by Rockstar Records. This is a reissue. It says on Dust Up, and it is an issue of 25, numbered. I have number 22 of 25, which is numbered on the back of this insert thing that they gave me this. So this little poster thing. It's sort of a punk. I haven't played it yet, but I heard just briefly part of a track on Discogs last night when I was just in the car after I bought it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, and I think it's on. Oh yes, it's on pink vinyl. It's on pink vinyl. Yeah. So the Tax. Yeah, never heard of them. Christchurch band. Interesting. So I don't know whether this is one that really slipped by us. Like I say, it was pressed up in Europe and distributed via the what do they say they're called? Rockstar Records, which is out of Germany, something like that. So whether any copies actually made it back to New Zealand, no, I'm sure they did. So this was mastered by Brian. Brian Ferry. I know Brian. I met him many times at gigs. Mastered by Brian Ferry at the Dog Shit Factory. So I'm looking forward to that. That's cool. It's a Christchurch band. That's what's really cool. So unbelievably, I never ever had no fucking idea about it whatsoever. So that's going to get some airtime pretty soon. So I've cleaned all of those ones, and then I've got other ones to clean as well. And also at Penny Lane, the last one I picked up yesterday was this one. Now, in an Uncut magazine, and I think it was actually in the 500 best LPs of the 2010s to now. The last volume, which I've sort of shown and talked about, one of this band's LPs was mentioned, and I'd like to track it down, but I've got this one instead. This is their third LP, and this is a band called Fuzz, and it also has the man Ty Segall in it. So this is a nice gatefold, pretty cool artwork there. Fuzz 3 it's called. It's a typical modern record. There's absolutely no, apart from on the spine on this one, there's no information on it at all, except maybe in here. And it doesn't even tell me what year it is. It's a couple of years old. 2019 it was recorded. There we go. It's a bit older than I thought. So, it's not the LP I want to get of theirs. And I remember I did hear a couple of tracks of it and I was really impressed. So this I actually haven't looked at the reviews of it. Although Discogs reviews, they don't often talk about the music. They just talk about the pressings and the quality. So, Fuzz and Fuzz 3. And then finally, from Penny Lane, after I'd bought all those and I was sort of walking towards it, I said, I've got to get out of here before I start spending more money. And I was looking at the wall behind, there's the main counter and there's a whole lot of shit on the wall there. There wasn't that much on display, expensive items usually. Down further, there's a whole bunch of sort of box sets actually. There was like Zappa's Fish Thing and a whole bunch of other really expensive box sets. But sitting there, and I actually do remember seeing this here a wee while ago, was this box set. Cooking Vinyl, 1986 to 2016. And the compilation, 7 LPs, and it was dirt cheap. And on Discogs it's dirt cheap, so if you ever see this around, grab it because it's really, really good. I've only played 3 records out of it, 7 LPs. It came with this book here, big page book. The book doesn't really say much. It's got a certification there of the 30th anniversary box set certification of authenticity, 1,000 copies. This is number 332 of 1,000. So it's been out for 10 years, this thing, and it's obviously not taken off with people. It's still selling really cheaply, but I'm super impressed. So it is, as I say, it's right across the 30 years. So they've got 1986 to 1995, part 1. So this is what I expected from Cooking Vinyl. Was on this side. I've got the Cowboy Junkies and Ewan McCall, Paul Kelly, and of course Michelle Shocked was the one that put me onto them many years ago with her Texas Campfire tapes, which I actually bought on vinyl when it first came out back in the day. 86 to 95 part 2, Tom Robinson, the Bundu Boys, Poison Girls and the Mekons, Billy Bragg, of course, he's got a lot of releases on there. 96 to 2005, part 1, The Wedding Present, Madder Rose, Prolapse. So many bands, many artists, the names are familiar. 96 to 2005, part 2, Frank Black, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Church, Hayseed Dixie, Camber Van Havens, Take the Skinheads Bowling. I mean, and like I say, most of these bands. So what is a lot of the label later on? They got into a lot of reissues, and there's a huge list of their catalogue numbers. In the back here, there's about 5 pages of it, all CDs, and I've looked down the list. There's a lot of Peru Blues and Billy Braggs. There's even Violent Femmes. I mean, all of the Gun Club LPs are there, all reissued or relicensed by Cooking Vinyl. Interesting how much of that whole list was CD releases. This is the vinyl release, and the outfit's called Cooking Vinyl. Hey man, go figure. But anyway, 2006 to 2016. So you get 10-year brackets of each volume. Underworld, Groove Armada, Madness, The Orb. There's some really surprising things that say again, Cooking Vinyl I associate with people like Billy Bragg and Michelle Shocked. Part 2, Cranberries, Gary Newman, Suzanne Vega, Reichsock, The Prodigy. I mean, I haven't listened to all of them, like I said, but the ones I have, like I think I listened to this one. Yeah, I did. Part 3, Marilyn Manson, The Fratellis. I mean, these are some really cool. This one's really some The Cult. I mean, and some really great tracks. All really well produced. So that's an absolutely stunning box set. I'm really, really impressed with it. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. And $50. I mean, it's second hand, but it's actually brand new. It practically looks like it's hardly ever been played at all. I mean, when I open the book's never been read. When I open it, you can tell when you open these things like that. I mean, it's got that stiffness to the cover where you have to actually bend it back to open it right up. Right, now speaking of box sets, I had to move on because we've already done 24 minutes. So when I picked up those cuts when I was over in Sydney, I picked up 2 copies of Uncut. Well, one before I left to read on the plane over there, and one when I came back. Another one when I came back to read on the plane on the way back. And there were some reviews of some box sets. And so I got my supplier, Telfers, my electrical suppliers, because I got some points, to go and purchase some for me from JB Hi-Fi. And I picked up this because there was a review of this. This is the most recent box set, Mr. Bob Dylan. Through the Open Window, the Bootleg Series, Volume 18. I mean, I have all of the Bootleg Series. Starting around about Volume 12, I went to vinyl. To be honest, I didn't need to be buying the CD box sets with like 10 or 12 or 15 CDs or whatever. I just got to pop the needle off the record. So, I'm not interested in hearing 15 takes of the same bloody song. Which, each of the volumes that have come out have got more and more CDs. One of the volumes had like 18 CDs, I can't remember. So there's 4 LPs here. Let the Good Times Roll is the opening track on side 1, and that's from 1956. It was an acetate recorded by Bob and a couple of his mates. It's almost unlistenable, to be honest, but you know, it's just there for the sake of it. But you know, most of this is his. Well, obviously, sorry, what was it covering up to? 63. So it's all his early folksy stuff. It's just record 4, record 3. I don't know, whatever. Now, yeah, record LP 3. LP 4. The cool photos of Bob and collages on the front. LP 2. Yep. And LP 1. This is the really early stuff. There's a couple of tracks from 50s. And then a bunch of home recordings from 1960, 61. And then we get into a party at Minneapolis in 61. There's quite a few tracks out of that on that one. And there's live stuff, mostly a lot of live stuff, and a few outtakes. Some of it's been released before on other volumes and that, but lots of it hasn't. And then of course there's the usual booklet. Of course this is around the time of the freewheeling LP and that. So yeah, this is cool. I mean, there's lots of pictures, a bit of text. So I've got all of them on vinyl from 12 onwards. So it's really great to have that one, and I am really enjoying it. And then finally, the other one I picked up was this one, the latest Neil Young official release series, 26, 27, 28, and 29. And now 2 of these LPs I had on CD, and 2 of them I didn't have at all. And so this box set is covering, and not in the actual order, is the Unplugged on NTV, which is, I have this one on CD, and the Needle and the Damage Done on this is absolutely stunning. Not a gatefold, just a double LP. But of course, you know, they all sound awesomely good because they're a Neil Young. This one here I'd never heard before, and I was familiar with it. So this is Mirrorball. See, that's upside down there. There's the text there. So this is Mirrorball. This was recorded with Pearl Jam, wasn't it? So yeah, so this is quite a heavy LP. It's pretty damn good. I've only played it the once so far, so I'm going to get familiar with it again, but a bit more. Mastered from the original analog tapes, which was, when was this? 95. So it's interesting that they were still recording analog in 95. This one mastered from digital, which is interesting, but then, see, this was 92, 93. Interesting that there. So, okay, and there's that one, and then there's, now this is one I don't think I had on CV, Sleeps with Angels. Again, mastered from digital, 1994. And then finally, the last one in the box is Neil's Harvest Young, and this one is a gatefold double LP, three-sided LP, sorry. Again, this one is mastered from digital, so I'm not sure what the story is there, whether there was analog tapes, they don't have them anymore, they've lost them. Because isn't Neil kind of, he's a bit of an analog guy, isn't he? I don't know. I'll have to check the other box sets I've got. Got the previous box set, you know, with Ragged Glory and Freedom and all that stuff. I'd love to get all of these boxes actually, because I don't have Neil's early stuff, but they're a little bit hit and misses, and they don't go in complete sequence. So this is volume 6 of the box sets that has been released, I believe. So I have 3 of them. I don't have the 3 earlier ones that started off with the first albums. It goes through the first earlier albums, but then there's kind of, it jumps sort of around a wee bit. So yeah, I got the El Dorado one with El Dorado and not Trans. Christ, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so, you know, love Neil Young. Really cool to have that. Let's match the box top up with the artwork on the back, shall we? There we go, that's better. Okay, so that is me finally finished blabbing away to you. Sorry, 30 minutes, folks. I hope you stuck with me and enjoyed the blurb. So that's going to keep me busy. I really should be right. I've still got a bloody load of copper out there I should take into town. Then I can have another splurge at Penny Lane. So might do that in the next couple of months. Okay, good to see you. Thank you.